Personal Jesus is a song by the English electronic band Depeche Mode, released on August 29, 1989 as the lead single from their seventh studio album, Violator. The single reached number 13 on the UK singles chart and number 28 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song was the first single to make the US Top 40 for the band since their 1984 single People Are People, and was their first gold-certified single in the US. In Germany, the single is one of the band's longest-charting songs, staying on the country's singles chart for 23 weeks. In 2004, Personal Jesus was ranked number 368 in Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest songs of all time, and in September 2006 it was voted as one of the 100 greatest songs ever in Q magazine. Personal Jesus was re-released as a single on May 30, 2011 for the new Depeche Mode remix album Remixes 2, 81:11, with the leading remix by the production team Stargate. Since its release, the song has been covered by numerous artists including Gravity Kills, Marilyn Manson, Sammy Hagar, Jerry Williams, Lollipop Lust Kill, Nina Hagen, Richard Cheese, Johnny Cash, and Mindless Self-Indulgence. Inspiration: the song was inspired by the book Elvis and Me by Priscilla Presley. According to songwriter Martin Gore, it's a song about being a Jesus for somebody else, someone to give you hope and care. It's about how Elvis Presley was her man and her mentor and how often that happens in love relationships. How everybody's heart is like a god in some way, and that's not a very balanced view of someone, is it? Background: in mid-1989, the band began recording in Milan with record producer Flood. The result of this session was the single Personal Jesus, which featured a catchy bluesy riff and drum-based sound, radically different from anything the band had released thus far. The song became a big hit across the world, and is one of Depeche Mode's most successful songs, along with the following single, Enjoy the Silence. Although not the first Depeche Mode song to feature guitar parts, it was the first time a guitar was used as a dominant instrument in a Depeche Mode song. Prior to its release, advertisements were placed in the personal columns of regional newspapers in the UK with the words "Your own personal Jesus." Later, the ads included a phone number one could dial to hear the song. The ensuing controversy helped propel the single to number 13 on the UK charts, becoming one of Depeche Mode Euro unregistered trademark's biggest sellers. The single was particularly successful commercially thanks to the fact that it was released 6 months prior to the album it would later appear on. Up to that point, it was the best-selling 12" single in Warner Bros. History. Personal Jesus has a plethora of remixes, almost unprecedented for Depeche Mode at the time. While most other Depeche Mode singles prior to Personal Jesus usually had band-made extended mixes, Depeche Mode started to invite more DJs and mixers to the fold, which would become the mainstay for all future Depeche Mode singles. From a section Wak Walkian mixed the single version, the Holier Than Thou approach, the Pump mix, and the lesser-known Kazan Cathedral mix, while producer Flood mixed the acoustic version and the Telephone Stomp mix as well as the single version and sensual mix of the single's B-side Dangerous, a more disco electronic track. The Huzcha mix and Huzcha mix edit of Dangerous were mixed by Daniel Miller. The back cover of Personal Jesus features one of the band members and the backside of a naked woman. The band member shares with depends on whether it is the 7" vinyl, the 12 vinyl, the cassette, or the original CD. On some copies she does not appear at all, such as the 2004 CD re-release, and on promo copies. On some limited releases, like the Gbung 17, all 4 photos are available plus 1 photo of the full group. The Anton Corbijn directed music video for Personal Jesus is his first Depeche Mode video in color, and features the band in a ranch, placed in the Tabernas Desert of Almería, in Spain. MTV edited out some suggestive mouth movements of Martin Gore during the bridge and replaced it with some other footage from the video. Track listings: all songs written by Martin Gore. Mixes: Francois Kevorkian, Personal Jesus, Personal Jesus, Personal Jesus, Personal Jesus, only available on the limited 4-disc edition of Remixes 81:04 on Just Say Da, Personal Jesus, Flood, Personal Jesus, Dangerous, Dangerous, Daniel Miller, Dangerous, Dangerous. Charts. Weekly charts. Appearances. The song was used as the entrance theme for the professional wrestler Violator Jr. The Marilyn Manson version of the song was used as the entrance theme for professional wrestler Austin Aries during his early Ring of Honor run. The song is featured on the Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas soundtrack. It is streamed on the video games Radio X. The song was also used in the trailer of the movie The Devil's Double. The song was used in the Victoria's Secret fashion show on its segment Coquettish Fetish in a remix of Beware of the Dog by Jamelia. In 2012, a live version of Personal Jesus was used on an ad for Giorgio Armani's Acqua di Gio. The chorus of the song was played in the background to the 2013 New Year fireworks in London. The song is available as downloadable content for Rock Band 3, along with Never Let Me Down Again, and Policy of Truth. Personal Jesus supports the Pro Guitar and Bass add-on. The song was used on the show Californication in the Season 6 episode Blind Faith. In an episode of the MTV series When I Was 17, Jay Manuel reveals that Personal Jesus was a favorite song of his. The song was featured on the NBA 2K15 soundtrack. Personal Jesus 2011. Personal Jesus 2011 is the remixed version of the single, released on May 30, 2011. The digital single was released in the UK on April 18, 2011. It was released a day later in the US. Track listings. CD, Personal Jesus €3 357, Personal Jesus €5 557, Personal Jesus €7 726, Personal Jesus €5 524, Personal Jesus €6 625, 12 vinyl, Personal Jesus €5 554, Personal Jesus €5 522, Personal Jesus €3 356, Personal Jesus €7 725, Personal Jesus €6 625, digital download, Personal Jesus €3 356, Personal Jesus €3 327, Beatport exclusive digital download, Personal Jesus €7 726, Never Let Me Down Again €7 701, Promo CD, Personal Jesus €3 357, Personal Jesus €3 327, Personal Jesus €5 557, Personal Jesus €7 726, Personal Jesus €5 524, Personal Jesus €6 625, iTunes Store, Personal Jesus €5 557, Personal Jesus €7 726, Personal Jesus €5 524, Personal Jesus €5 556. Charts. Cover versions. Johnny Cash cover. Johnny Cash recorded Personal Jesus for his 2002 album American 4. Producer Rick Rubin asked Red Hot Chili Peppers guitarist John Frusciante to rework an acoustic version of Martin Gore's song, which featured a simple acoustic riff that stripped down the song to a blues style. Frusciante plays guitar on the track, along with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers guitarist Mike Campbell. Marilyn Manson cover. Marilyn Manson's 2004 cover version of Personal Jesus appears on the band's Best of compilation, Lest We Forget, The Best of, and was that album's lead single. It was recorded by Marilyn Manson with instrumentation and arrangement by Tim Scar Paragraph LD at Manson's studio, Doppelherz Blood Treatment Facility, and mixed by Mark Spike Stent, a veteran producer who had also frequently worked with Depeche Mode. The cover does not deviate in any large degree from Depeche Mode's original version, apart from additional guitar distortion. The single was accompanied by a music video directed by Manson and Nathan Karma Cox, which features the band members in tableaux vivants accompanied by rear projection images depicting various images of political figures such as Benito Mussolini, John F. Kennedy, Joseph Stalin, Mahatma Gandhi, Adolf Hitler, George W. Bush and Fidel Castro. Like the original version, this 2004 cover was also remixed by other artists. The Personal Jesus Rude Photo Emoto mix was produced by Felix da Housecat, Brian Black and Olivier Grasset, and appears as a B-side on the vinyl versions of the single. It has been a staple of the band's live shows as well. Track listing, enhanced CD single, Personal Jesus €406, M Obscene Replete Euro 435, Personal Jesus Euro 550, Personal Jesus Video, German Mini CD Single, Personal Jesus Euro 406, This Is the New Shit Euro 428, UK 10, and UK 7 Vinyl, Personal Jesus, UK Enhanced CD Single, Personal Jesus Euro 406, This Is the New Shit Euro 425, M Obscene Replete Euro 435, Personal Jesus Video. Jamelia Sample Singer-songwriter Jamelia recorded the song Beware of the Dog in 2006, which sampled Personal Jesus. Beware of the Dog peaked at number 10 on the UK charts. Hilary Duff sample actress and singer Hilary Duff recorded Reach Out in 2008. The song was also based upon a sample of Personal Jesus. Reach Out later became number 1 on Billboard's Hot Dance Club Play chart. Other covers Lollipop Lust Killer Euro from the 2002 album My So-Called Knife. Gravity Kills Euro from the 2002 album Superstarved. David Go-Go Euro from the 2002 album Skeleton Key. Jerry Williams, from the 2002 album Sweet 60. Thomas D. Lever Euro from the 2002 album Love Star. Richard Cheese Euro from the 2004 album I'd Like a Virgin. Tori Amos Euro various live performances, notably on 2005's original Sensualities/Summer of Sin tour and more recently on 2010's Untitled tour. Lacuna Coil, from the 2006 album Karma Code. Nina Hagen Euro from her 2010 album Personal Jesus. Ariza Euro from the 2012 album Amami Tour. Sammy Hagar Euro from his 2013 album Sammy Hagar and Friends, featuring Neil Schon on guitar, Michael Anthony on bass, and Chad Smith on drums. Moving Heroes Euro from the 2014 single Shadow. Lisa Hannigan Euro various live performances during recent tours. Mindless Self-Indulgence Euro from the 2015 album Pink. References. External links, single information from the official Depeche Mode website, Personal Jesus lyrics, Marilyn Manson single information at Discogs, full lyrics of this song at Metro Lyrics, the music video on YouTube.